Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to make a video about groups that I think are overrated and underrated. Before starting the video, I remind you that this is a small channel and every kind of support is very appreciated, so consider subscribing and leaving a like. Also, if you disagree with me or you want to express your idea, my comments are open. Having said that, let's start with the groups that I think are overrated. I am so passionate about this point. Every time someone talks about Idol, it's almost like they are talking about gods. As I said a million times, the biggest problem I have with Idol is how inconsistent they are. I am talking about title tracks because I don't give enough fucks to listen to their B-sides. But sometimes their title tracks are good, for example, Tomboy, and sometimes their title tracks are straight up terrible. Yes, I am looking at you, Queen card. I think they are overrated because, as soon as you try to say something negative about them, a horde of Idol stans will tell you to pay attention to the important messages of their songs and not the songs themselves. Honestly, I don't give a fuck about the messages. I can appreciate the effort they put to try to spread positive values, but I am way too old to need a K-pop song to tell me I don't need plastic surgery to look beautiful. So, for me, if a song doesn't sound good, it's terrible, regardless of the message. I could also talk about how hypocritical they are, since I think the majority of them did get plastic surgeries. In one member, I won't specify who, debuted just because she's pretty, but she's pretty much a dozen. In girl, don't get me started on the idolization of Soyeon. I know she's a good rapper for K-pop standards and I know she produces a lot of Idol songs. She's a talented woman, I am not denying it, but she's still a human. Chill out. I am a Blink but I am also self-aware, something that a lot of y'all aren't. BLACKPINK are amazing, I love their songs and I am emotionally attached to them because they got me into K-pop. I am including them in this video because of their last album. Even though I liked it, I found it kinda lazy. After a 2 years hiatus, I expected something new and innovative, especially when it comes to the B-sides. The B-sides of the album were very good, we had songs like Crazy Over You and Pretty Savage but also songs that were more emotional like You Never Know. The Born Pink album felt like a watered-down version of the album and there were B-sides that I straight up hated like The Happiest Girl. The title tracks were fine but again, I expected something different than usual. Both Shutdown and Pink Venom were very predictable because they followed the usual BLACKPINK formula. It's sad that one-year-old groups, like NewJeans, have explored more genres than BLACKPINK, the most famous K-pop girl group that has been in the industry for almost 7 years. I am not the biggest Twice fan, so I might be biased but I swear, I can't find a recent Twice release that I genuinely find interesting. I have this thing with their songs where I don't find them horrible but also, they are not good enough for me to stream them. Set Me Free was okay, but why would I listen to it, when I can't find hundreds of songs that sound the same? On the contrary, their solo projects are usually cute. I liked Pop by Nain a lot, and I am liking Jinyo's spoilers for her solo projects so far. So, I put these two groups together because I think they are overrated for the same reason. I don't necessarily think these groups are overrated music-wise, both groups make decent music. I usually prefer aespa's releases but I like ITZY too, except for a few exceptions. I think they are overrated because their fandom is full of Delulu stans that think they are still the 4th-gen leaders. If you are one of them, do you realize how stupid you sound? Especially when it comes to ITZY, you know what I think about them if you are subscribed to my channel. They can't even chart well, how are the leaders of their generation? aespa is doing better than ITZY but again, when you compare them to groups like NewJeans, LE SSERAFIM, Idol, and IVE, how can you say that aespa is dominating this generation of K-pop? My unpopular opinion is that they were never the leaders of this generation, even during their peak when they were extremely popular, just because to be leaders you need to have something to lead. And, especially when it comes to ITZY, they debuted during a time when there wasn't any competition, they were one of the first 4th-gen groups to debut. Okay, let's move to the groups that I think are underrated. Hear me out. I know they are extremely popular and successful but I still think that they are kinda underrated by the K-pop community. Some people think they are a bunch of untalented girls that are famous only because of Wonyoung and Yoojin. Now, this is partially true, part of their fame is due to these two members but they also have really good music. Their title tracks are always very nice to listen to and they have a strong identity as a group, which is a thing I always appreciate. Also, their last albums had really good B-sides, such as Hypnosis and Cherish. And, even though they don't have the strongest vocal and dance line, are we forgetting that 90% of 4th-gen groups fit the same description? So why are we complaining about the lack of skills only when it comes to IVE? I don't get it. Another successful group, especially before, that I feel is extremely underrated. In this case, it's not that the K-pop community thinks that they make bad music. The average K-pop stan will recognize how talented they are and how good their art direction and music are. They are underrated in the sense that not a lot of people are streaming their songs and watching their content. Between the holy trinity of the third gen, they are the group that fell off the most. It just seems like the general public is not interested in them anymore. And it's such a pity in my opinion, because their discography is top tier. Okay, this is kind of a new good group, but they need way more recognition. Their debut album was so good, and I love the idea of having the four members release their solo and then the title tracks together. Can we talk about how good Natty's solo Sugarcoat was? Their title tracks were very catchy too. I am telling you, they are gonna get very big in the future. Also, can we appreciate the fact that every member of this group is over the age of 18? In a time when agencies love to debut middle school students, this is such a breath of fresh air. Okay, that's it. What do you think about these opinions? Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. I remind you again to consider subscribing and leaving a like. Bye bye.